I'm just honored to be here today to share this evening with incredible people, people doing amazing work in the world, people that have given their lives to change the world. I think all of us, in the capacity you are, you're doing an amazing job, no matter what. I know sometimes when you do so much, people don't appreciate what you do. But as a member of parliament and also as a leader in Kenya, but also as somebody that has given my life to serve others in a positive way, I would like to appreciate what all of us do. As Tom said, I was born in Kenya, very poor family in Kenya, in the village of Rift Valley, a village in Cherengani, all the way western of Kenya, in Kitale. I think most of you who work in Kenya know where Kitale is, on the way to Lodwar. And so I was born there. My parents didn't have money to take me to school, so I struggled a lot in school, to go to school. I finished primary school. Going to high school was a problem, like many other kids who were from poor family. I was admitted to a good school called St. Joseph's High School, Kitale. Didn't have money, but I just kept going to school. Just kept going there. They send me home. I go. They send me home. I go. They send me home. But there was a priest from Ireland who was there as a missionary, and he was a chaplain for that school. He was a runner too. He used to run with me. He gave me my first running pair of shoes. And so every time he comes, when I'm sent home, I'm not to school. So one day he asked me, "Why do you keep going home?" I told him, I don't have money to stay in school. So he decided to pay for my high school. So he paid for my high school. So every time he would go home, ask his friends to donate, and then he would come and pay for my high school. So he paid for my high school until I was able to finish high school. That's how I was able to finish high school. So finishing high school, I did really well in high school. Supposed to join a university in Kenya, my parents didn't have enough money. Then I realized, I can run. And I discovered that through the process of running, as I started to train, I met a coach called Porter Reng, and he told me, there's an opportunity to go to America under an athletic scholarship. So I took it. I was like, no, that's a very good idea. Let me jump into that idea. I trained, applied for a university. I got admitted to University of Louisville. I went first of all to University called Murray State University in Kentucky, and then transferred to University of Louisville. That's how, so I went there, I got my degree in biology and minor in accounting. And then, so during that process, I started running professional. So I started running professional after I graduated in 2008. Started making money. I wanted to be a doctor, but started making more money running. So I decided to get into professional running, sign a contract with Nike, which I still have. And then, so I started making money, and I called the priest back home. During that time, I was still in school. When I was still making money in school, I called the priest and I told him, he had retired. He's old, and I was feeling good. Like I'm gonna pay for his retirement. Mm-hmm. So I call him back and I tell him, I wanna give you money. I wanna pay for what you did to me. And he told me, Wesley, I don't want even a shilling of your money. I want you to do the same to others. Mm-hmm. What I did to you, I want you to do to others. And so that's when I was like, okay, you paid for my school fees, let me start paying school fees. So I started with one kid. I called home, I told my mother, look for me a neighbor of ours that is very poor, that does not have school fees. I came from, an area was a lot of poor people. So my mom found a girl, I paid for her school fees, and then all of a sudden, my friends say, Wesley, why are you doing a great job? Why can we help you? So it started like that. We had 2 kids. Next year we had 5 kids paying for school fees, and then we started a foundation. So we started a foundation called Kenyan Kids Foundation.
You were living here in this country at the time?
Pardon?
You were still living in the US?
Yeah, I was still living in the US. So we started a foundation called Kenyan Kids Foundation. We founded the tax compliance, all that. It's 5013C. So we started paying, and right now we're paying up to 300 students. We're educating. We have about, last year we have done this for the last 5 years. Last year we had up to now we have about 50 have graduated, and about 30 of them are in university in Nairobi. So that has been very successful. And then in 2013 we also built a hospital. My brother when I was young, my brother was bitten by a snake. I remember very well, we were coming from the farm. He went home, tried to take something out of the house, the storage. He was bitten by a snake right here. He was the brother that was following me. So I was older and then he was next. And from a poor family, we don't have a car to take to the hospital. There's no ambulance. The closest hospital was 20 kilometers away. It was about 20 miles away. From Cherangani to Kitale is about 20 miles. There's no, you go, my mother, put him in a bag, go to the road, wait for the matatus, for those people who have gone to Kenya, stop a matatu. The matatu has to fill up. So by the time, my mom was trying to tell them, let's hurry, but they're after money. They don't care about it. So my brother died in my mom's hand. And so it was very, very painful. It was very painful for me. So when I came here, I remember when I ran for my first marathon in Chicago with a friend of mine called Ryan Ho. We raised money and we built a hospital in my village. And I bought an ambulance just on honor of my brother to be able to help him. So, but just going to Kenya and seeing the frustration, I wanted really to change Kenya. Like I kept asking myself, why are we not changing? Why is Kenya not becoming what it's supposed to become? Why is Africa not becoming what it's supposed to become? Because we have, if you go to if you're in California and you have gone to Kenya, you know that this is Kenya, right? The weather is this. We have a lot of resources, but why are we not where we're supposed to be? Then I realized it's leadership. We don't have. I realized we're lacking something. There's something. And when I looked at how the development money was being done in my area, one tribe is getting money, the other tribes are not getting money. Yeah. One group is getting money, the other ones are not getting money. If you voted for somebody, you get money. If you don't, you remain poor. So then I realized, why not get into politics to change things, right? So 2013, I packed my stuff. I had an opportunity of becoming an American citizen. I had already gotten my green card. On 2013 December, I was supposed to get my US citizenship. Nike had given me a contract, and the contract said, if you become an American citizen, your payment triples. Right? I had bought a house in Kentucky. I was living good. I was living happy. I was living large.
And you were married?
Yeah, I was married. My wife is from Canada. We have 2 kids. So it was a big choice to make. Thinking about the beauty of America, the comfort of America. I'm out of poverty. My family is living good in Kenya. I've built my mama a house. They're living happy. So I had a choice to make: to stay in America and live happy, or leave everything and go back. And I chose to leave everything and go back. And being there, it hasn't been easy. Let me tell you, a million times I've punched myself in the face saying, what was I thinking about? Politics is not an easy job. It's one of the hardest. I would run 20 marathons to be in politics. But so when I was in Kenya, and the foundation was doing good. We were taking kids to school. One day, as a politician in Kenya, as you know, when you wake up in the morning, there's a line of people outside wanting help, right? So every time I wake up, there's about 100 people outside my house. All of them just need help. A lot of others want handouts, others want, somebody comes and tells you, my wife had a baby last night. I always ask them, what were you thinking when your wife was pregnant for 9 months? You didn't know that, so there's a lot of, there's a lot of so I listen to all those things, and so one day I woke up in the morning and there was a girl outside my house, and she had uniform, school uniform. She was a woman, right? And the school was open. The school was open like a couple of days ago. We had given out the checks for the foundation because at the beginning of the year, we give out, the parents come with the school admission, we write the check to the school, and then they take it to the school. There's the school account so that the money can go to the school. So I look at this girl and I saw her with the uniform. I was concerned, I was like, what is she doing here? She's supposed to be in school. So I went and asked her, what are you doing? You're supposed to be in school. And the girl told me, I'm here to see my father. And I was like, okay, who is your father? And she's like, you. I looked at myself and I was like, there's no way on earth that I've had a child this big, no matter what. There's no way, right? There's no way. I looked at the woman and I was like, okay, this is your mother. He's like, yeah. I was like, this is not my child. Like, you can tell what was going on in my head. I was calculating how old I am, and but the child was like, you're my father because you pay for my school fees. She was one of the Kenya Kids Foundation's kids, but she had not come to pick a check when we were giving out checks, so she was coming to pick a check that day. I asked the woman who was with her, the mother, do you have a husband? And the mother said, yes, I do have a husband, but my husband is poor, alcoholic, does not have money to support the family. So it became a big concern to me. I went back to my wife, and that day we talked, and I told my wife, it is unfortunate that a girl would take the fatherhood. All of us here who are fathers, you know what it means to be called a father. You know what it means to be a father. You know what it means to take care of your child and be able to provide for your child. And then also in my area, there's been a lot of alcoholism. My father, as I grew up, was alcoholic. And there was a lot of people, especially men, that are very alcoholic. So I've been trying to fight alcoholism. So I called these people one day and I talked to them. Why are you guys drinking? Why do you drink? Like, I wanted to learn, why do people drink, right? Because police, the government sends police to arrest them. They arrest them. After a week, they go back, they drink again. So I asked them, why do you drink? One common denominator that people tell me is they drink because they cannot provide for their kids. They drink because they cannot take their kids to school. So they drink to forget the problem. They drink to forget the problem. So then now we sat down with my wife, we say, okay, what can we do to empower the fathers to become fathers? What can we do to make the families become providers of their kids? So that the kids do not have to come to me and say, you're my father, but they can go to the father and say, you're my father. There's nothing better than seeing a dad, when the school is open, take the kid to shopping, all the kid, and take him to school. I think that is what all of us as fathers want to do. So I went around in my village and I said, okay, what can we do? I looked and I said, everybody has a cow. Everybody has a cow. Even the poor people have 1 or 2 cows. Then I realized, why do these people have cows, but the cows is not making them better people? Then we realized, first of all, the problem they had was the brokers, because there's no refrigeration. You have a cow, you milk 1 or 2 liters, you go to the side of the road, you sell the milk at the lowest price possible because nobody else bought it. And then I told my wife, why don't we put these people into cooperative and try to invest in them and try to put a chilling plant and then collect milk together and then find a solution to the problem there. So we started that through the foundation. I came here with Tom. I found some friends. They invested into the project. We bought about four coolers. We put the farmers into village. I formed what is called village cooperatives. They put the milk together. So, and for just a couple of, let's say, for the last less than a year, the price has gone. As soon as they put their milk together, they have the power to negotiate for prices. They have a cooling plant. With a cooling plant, they can store their milk more than just selling them.